Welcome to the MD is Bad podcast, where the name is misleading, but the fans can't hear me. Today I'm joined by somebody who, let's be honest, MD Season 2 would not be the same without him. You know him, you love him, he's the creator of Fungeblo, and all around a pretty darn good animator. Ladies and gentlemen, Cam Broman YT77. How do you feel today?
Excited.
Great.
Khan voice. I'm also the voice of Khan in Season 2. Specifically Professor Sir's. Yeah.
Yes, he is. And honestly, you bring a level of comedy to Khan that I don't think would otherwise be there. Khan is a really funny character, and I feel like that gets lost, especially if you go back and rewatch Murder Drones the first season. He's just kind of there for a lot of it. I don't see a lot of fan art depicting him being funny outside of like a door or something like that, or something in Fungeblo. So speaking of Fungeblo, for anybody, can you really quick just explain what Fungeblo is? Because I'm pretty sure some of our listeners haven't seen it yet. So give me a rundown. What's Fungeblo?
First of all, the door thing, I'm actually currently trying to edit like a door joke for Wave 7 of Fungeblo right now. But
Nice.
Yeah, so Fungeblo is a comedy parody series of a bunch of different things. It's a crossover thing. I try to make it go for like a creepy early CGI-esque vibe, like uncanny but hilarious. Yeah, I haven't been very successful with the horror part of it. But it's intentionally low quality with the so bad it's good mentality, but then sometimes it actually goes like really good.
I would agree. I think so. The charm of Fungeblo, if anybody has spent any time on the internet whatsoever, especially if you're like me and you grew up in the like Newgrounds early YouTube era of things, then Fungeblo is right up your alley. It's not as extreme as some of that early content I'm referencing, but it's so funny. I'm glad you mentioned it's so bad it's good, because I've reacted to what series are we on, or season are we on at this point? Are we, is it season 3? Is that where we're at with Fungeblo?
For Fungeblo, I go more for like waves than seasons to like be more original. And currently Wave 6 has just came out. You reacted up to like you finished Wave 5, and Wave 6 just finished. I also made the first part of Lost Blob yesterday, which was Lost Blob is an alternate universe of Fungeblo where it's, because Fungeblo itself isn't very good at the uncanny horror part, even though there are like eldritch monsters that I don't know what they are in canon or in reality. So those have been in the background a few times. You may have seen them, you may have not. Some were obvious, some weren't. But Lost Blob is a horror alternate universe analog horror kind of thing I'm making to like have Fungeblo still be scary. What was the question again, so I can go back on topic?
Honestly, I think I just asked you to describe what Fungeblo was. It's difficult to explain, even as someone who's pretty familiar with it at this point. It's got a charm to it. I highly encourage, there should be a link in the description on this episode. If you guys haven't checked out Fungeblo yet, I highly encourage you do. It's really funny, and it speaks to that part of me. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so SFM. I wouldn't say Fungeblo is the same as like early SFM videos for like Team Fortress 2 and stuff like that, but it carries a lot of the same style of comedy where the animation, like watching an episode that there was so much time and effort put into it, and it's hilarious. And of course, my favorite part of Fungeblo is the fact that Murder Drones characters are incorporated into it. So correct me if I'm wrong, you're a fan of Murder Drones.
Since day one.
Since day one. So for the sake of comedy, what does that mean?
So, I was watching an not SFM. I was watching an SMG4 video whenever Murder Drones first came out. I remember it was the Mario reacts to spooky memes video. The scene of Uzi fighting N in episode 1 was like playing and Mario was reacting to it. I was like, dang, that looks cool. I want to know what that's from, but they're probably not going to say, so I'm probably never going to find out. But then at the end of the video, it turned out it was actually an advertisement for murder drones. And then I went over, watched the first episode, and I was hooked from there.
That's actually kind of awesome. I wish that my experience with murder drones was that specific. I think I just kind of got it recommended it one day. Like the pilot just showed up on my YouTube feed. So I actually want your opinion on this. So SMG4, I'm not super familiar with it. What is SMG4?
Like an evolution of old Gmod machinimas into like cinematic comedy masterpieces that are partially what inspired Fungeblob.
Okay.
Also, speaking of Fungeblob, Funge is Fungeblob. There's no L in Funge. It's Fungeblob, not Fungeblob. Sorry, that's just a common misunderstanding that kind of annoys me. Anyway, back to murder drones.
No, I get that. It's like how people call me Professor Sir. It's like it's just Professor, guys. Profsir. That's in all fairness, I respond to "Hey you," but yeah, Funge Blob. Very important distinction there. Like I said, there should be a link down below. Please check it out. So you said Funge Blob was partially inspired by SMG4. Did murder drones? Well, I guess how did murder drones influence Funge Blob?
Spoiler warning, but well, Hatsune Miku, like, she caused episode 50 to be the highest quality thing on the entirety of my channel. And Murder Drones basically was just another franchise I decided to parody in Fungeblob. And like, it slowly evolved into Uzi, N, and V, which V is now named Veronica in the continuity. I need to think of like a reason to have parody names for N and Uzi other than Uzi with an Uzi. But it slowly evolved into them, those three becoming part of like King Uniter's inner circle. So Murder Drones had a partial impact on Fungeblob.
Okay, I can see it. I mean, the characters, again, for anyone who hasn't seen Fungeblob, the characters of Uzi, Envy, and obviously Sin, who, like you said, is dressed up like Hatsune Miku, they appear in the show. I don't want
to... She's wearing Hatsune... Hatsune Miku is Sin wearing Miku's flesh.
Fungeblob's a ride. That's what I'm getting at here. If you haven't checked it out, please do.
What?
Well, I was going to say, I remember, so actually a bit off topic here, but I promise it all ties together. Do you remember how we first got in contact?
I sent you multiple emails, and like for a month or two you didn't see them, and then like I started to get worried I wasn't accepted into the project. Then you suddenly accepted me into the project and cured my depression.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that last part. That's kind of cool. For context here, so the way MD Season 2 has worked, from
Professor,
the very... Yeah, go ahead.
You haven't just cured my depression, you've cured the depression of, like, many people. Including, like, probably at least a quarter of the people in the fan Discord.
Wow, no pressure. In all seriousness, that's really, like, really cool, actually.
I can confirm you at least partially cured the depression of Loud Void and Skyrim.
That's pretty cool. If you guys haven't checked out their channels, please do so. They're both really awesome. Skyrim is the voice actress for Sin in MD Season 2 and a creator in her own right. And Loud Void is just an absolutely stellar artist. I'm continuously blown away by her work. Skyrim Productions.
Yeah, Skyrim.
But yeah, everybody that's volunteered to help, because that's how it's been. I want to say there's maybe 2 or 3 people out of the 30 plus people we have now working on MD season 2. Only like 2 or 3 of them are people that I specifically reached out to, and of those 2 or 3, I think 2 of them have since like parted ways with the project, all on good terms, of course. Just like moved on to other things. So the fact that so many people, you included, just kind of reached out and offered to help. I'm continuously, yeah, Bananito, just everybody just blows me away. The fact that everyone, well, I think what it comes down to is Murder Drones is more popular now, I would argue, than it's ever been before, which is crazy considering the show ended a year ago.
Bananito is still in the community. She's just like not part of the project.
Bananito's incredible artist.
Sinus is messaging me.
It's so cool, the fact that, I don't know, when I started, if I can be totally honest for a second, and this is long before I heard of Fungeblo, long before I even had plans to turn this into a series. When MD season 2 was conceived originally, it was supposed to be a one-off, kind of similar to American Nexus now that I think about it. It was supposed to be a one-off joke kind of thing where I just upload a video, basically let everyone know how much Murder Drones means to me and how I would like to see the story continue. And it just blew up. It blew up for me, at least. I know, it didn't go viral, quote unquote, but it got enough people's attention to where, I mean, for anyone who watched the last episode of this podcast, I'm talking to Yagster and Dire Duck, of all people. These are 2 guys that I've been watching for quite a while. I still can't believe that. And it's all thanks to you guys.
And it's a freaking fever dream, just like basically being friends with someone who knows them.
It's insane. Like I'm at the point now where I have casual, not a lot of casual conversations, but after we recorded the previous episode, we stayed on call for over an hour, just talking about like entertainment and where we think Glitch is going. And the only reason we stopped is because I made a very poor decision and drank a couple of cans of soda and a whole water bottle. And I was dying by the end of our conversation. So I had to end the call and go to the bathroom. But like, if you don't know people, like creators who make Murder Drones content, generally speaking, they're some of the coolest and most creative people I've ever met. And I consider you, Cam, to be one of those people, because I look at the amount of work that you've done for MD season 2, the animated segments, your model of Armstrong, especially. Like and I've seen you improve. You were already off on a really good foot, but you've improved so much as each episode has come out. And I've seen your 2D work and your 3D work. And I'm blown away. I'm blown away by how creative the Murder Drones community is. And along those same lines, so is there, you started with the pilot episode, if you will, of MD season 2, or MD, the first season, the original. Where do you think Murder Drones is going to go from here?
So the comic thing that's coming out, it's apparently a retelling of the actual series, but there was an implication that that will just be the first issue. So I'm hoping that I think there's going to be 6 issues. So I'm hoping that the other 5 will be like world building and like giving us more perspectives, because something I kind of find annoying about series like that, and something that I'm trying to go against this in Fungeblo, is how whenever you see a universe, then a lot of the time a franchise is you just get the perspective of these characters, and then you get their story for like this part of their life, and then it's over. Like the original trilogy in Star Wars. But then in Star Wars is one of the franchises that isn't like that. It continued building. You get the perspectives of hundreds of different characters across the galaxy. and like you get to see the entire lives of the original characters.
Star Wars is chill
That's
like
something
that.
that
I love that.
that's also something that like the Railway series, the books that Thomas the Tank Engine is based on, they weren't about Thomas. They were about and also Thomas did the same thing, at least at first, until they ruined the franchise, because Thomas used to be good. It used to be even made for all ages and just talk down to children. But Thomas the Tank Engine, by the way, Thomas is not a train, he's a tank engine. But like the Railway series and original Thomas, they weren't just all about Thomas. They were about Thomas was the main character in the series, but like and in the books he was just like a side character. I'm rambling, sorry, but I'm trying to explain this quickly.
You're good, man. Take your time. Like, Thomas is cool.
So the Railway series was just called the Railway series because it didn't really have a main character. The closest to a main character it had was Gordon, because he started off as like an immature bully and idiot, and then the Railway series ended with him like maturing and accepting that he's gotten old and retiring from the thing he had loved and was proud of. So Gordon was the closest thing the Railway series had to a main character, but there wasn't a main character. It was just about the universe. Each book was about a different character. Sometimes even stories in books were about different characters. And the TV series did that for a while again until the creators sold it to a soulless company that didn't actually care like they did, and it was ruined.
Let me ask you something. So, as far as Thomas the Tank Engine goes, did you ever see the live action movie? I think it was the first one.
Yes.
What's the name of the
Tatner.
guy? What's the actor that's in it? The guy that
Baldwin.
Baldwin, yeah, the guy that shot somebody.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin. So he's in it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a good movie, especially for a kid. But it's got like this weird sadness about it. It almost feels like nostalgic. It's like, I don't know. I just,
If I may.
Yeah, go for it.
So I have a bias towards Tatmer, which is, I think an acronym is, am I using the word acronym right? Like the first letter of each word in the thing?
Yeah, I think that's an acronym. You would think after writing, a 600-something page book, I would know, but it's English.
But yeah, so Tatmer, which is an acronym for Thomas and the Magic Railroad. I kind of have a bias towards it because like I loved it whenever I was younger, but now I will admit it definitely has several things off about it that like don't fit into Thomas, which are magic, and the engines can like control themselves completely, because Thomas is set in a realistic setting just where engines have faces. Engines partially can control themselves, but like they need a crew to like for safety reasons, because an engine doesn't have full control over themselves. So they need a crew or else they might cause a crash. But in Tatmer, they were just completely fine without a crew. Where was Bob in Tatmer? Where was Thomas's driver?
I don't know. Probably on vacation.
Thomas's driver is canonically named Bob.
He's canonically named Bob. Okay. I mean, Bob's a good name. It's a common name, I think, but I think Bob's a good name.
We need more. I think Bob is like an extremely generic name, and so I think it's funny. But we need more scenes in Thomas that like have it set in a more realistic setting, because All Engines Go is the worst the franchise has ever been. They can squish like SpongeBob. Rolling stock can move on their own. If trains can move on their own, why do they need engines?
Here's the thing about not just Thomas the Tank Engine, but just stories in general. Have you noticed? I just realized this as you were talking. So kids shows, they're revisiting them with like new seasons and stuff like that. And they're like rebranding the characters, making them more simplistic looking. They're changing the art style. And there's many reasons why they're doing this. But it feels like when brands will simplify their logos to appeal to a general audience, quote unquote. But
Shout
in
out
doing
to
so,
Cracker Barrel.
yeah, shout out Cracker Barrel. And that's the most political we're going to get on this podcast. But I don't even know if that's political. But either way, like that whole movement, they've done it with a ton of stuff. It feels like in trying to please everyone, they end up pleasing no one, especially when it comes to kid shows. I remember when they did it to Bob the Builder. I remember when they did it to okay, of course the name escapes me as I'm talking about it. Okay, the point is that there's a lot of shows out there.
I heard about how Gumball's getting another season.
Yeah, Gumball's coming back. That is, funnily enough, seems to be one of the few cases where they're just like continuing the story. They haven't, like, Gumball doesn't, it's not like 100% 3D or 100% 2D now. It's not some weird, Thundercats, that's what it's called. That's what I was thinking of.
How long until Gravity Falls season 3?
Oh, it's never going to happen, man.
We were getting Gravity Falls. What?
It's never happening, man. I'm calling it now.
We were getting Gravity Falls media like a year or two ago with the Book of Bill, and we were getting teasers. What was that leading up to? I heard that like the creator can't work with Disney at the moment because he has a contract with Netflix. So I guess it's just until that's over. And another thing about Gravity Falls, Phineas and Ferb. The Book of Bill had a reference to Phineas and Ferb, and in the new seasons of Phineas and Ferb, oh yeah, by the way, Phineas and Ferb has new seasons as well. But there was a gnome that there was a garden gnome that looked exactly like the design of gnomes in Gravity Falls. I am convinced that Phineas and Ferb and Gravity Falls take place in the same universe, and I demand a crossover now.
Now that's the kind of thinking that I can get behind, considering. So if you're unaware, recently I did my glitch theory video, which resonated with some people, didn't resonate with others, which is fine. That's usually the case with theory videos. I love Easter eggs.
If you can't tell by Fungeblob, I love crossovers.
Yeah. Well, Fungeblob is itself, I would say, probably the biggest crossover I've ever seen.
We need... What?
I'm just saying it's one of the biggest. I'm sure there's other series out there that have, tied things together more so. But Fungeblob does it in a way that's a little bit more endearing. It's just crazy, man. I don't know how else to say it. It's good crazy. It feels like a Saturday morning cartoon. Like if I turned on the TV and 4Kids TV was suddenly back on the air and they were playing the latest episodes of Fungeblob, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense.
He's A-posing.
A-posing. What's the difference between A-posing and T-posing?
T-posing is like, they have the same meaning, which is just an unanimated model, but like it's just T-posing is the arms are straight out 90 degrees up. A-posing is like they're 45 degrees up to the sides. Okay.
Didn't know that. Learn something new every day.
So basically it was just like two thoughts about stuff that Liam Vickers has said. First of all, he said he would die before anyone wore pants. They wore pants, let's see, 1, 2... okay, counting characters that wore pants and how many times they wore pants, like 3 times.
We've got V. V wears pants in the camp episode. Well, they're shorts, but it counts.
N wears pants in that episode as well, and he also wears pants in episode 3.
And then you've got Tessa slash Sin. Tessa slash Sin in her spacesuit. Those are pants.
Yeah, but like, oh yeah, that I was going to say that's a human though, but like, no. However, this part isn't confirmed, but I have a theory that Tessa actually made it. Tessa survived. She made it to Copper 9, and then like it was off screen either between episode. What episode was it that she first arrived?
Oh shoot, I want to say it was episode 4. I really should know this. It was like 4 or 5. It was earlier than.
Anyway,
yeah.
I think she died off screen on Copper 9 either between there or right after Tessa got grabbed by I think it was either a Solver thing or Alice in episode 6. But like, because there was a teaser for Murder Drones that showed Tessa in the spacesuit shooting at a solver tendril, and like no other characters were around. Why would she have a reason to like be attacking the solver if she was controlled by the solver?
That's really interesting. I hadn't considered that. That's a good headcanon, actually.
And then, wait, another headcanon I have. Khan's favorite video game is FNAF because of the doors. Anyway, back to another thing that Liam has posted, that he was saying something about the lore that I don't think many people know. I don't know where this post came from, and I haven't seen it myself, but I've seen several people talking about it, so pretty sure it did actually happen.
Then it must be true.
And I'm not just having this information, but that I was also spamming it in the chat, trying to tell you in the live stream a few days ago. Again, sorry for being annoying.
No, I'm sorry.
I still feel guilty about that.
That live stream is nobody's fault except mine. That was if you didn't watch that stream, if you weren't there, that stream was my Vietnam.
You don't have to be embarrassed about the stream like lagging and glitching like that, because for me, whenever I try to stream, it's even worse. Like it just cuts off randomly, and then I have to, like, 5 minutes later I realize, oh crap, it hasn't been recording. Then I have to restart it.
It's just, what gets me about it is the audio. Anyway, as you were saying.
Back to what Liam said. Yeah, so the reason why Sane and the disassembly drones have gray hair is because Tessa grave robbed her own family to get the hair.
I heard about this. Okay, this is insane for a number of reasons, and yet so in character if it's actually true. Which, I mean, I guess it depends on if you take what's said by the creators outside of the show as canon, because a lot of creators will do that. They'll be asked at a panel or something, and they'll elaborate, or they'll offer some details that weren't in the show itself. I know there are some people that don't like that. I personally think it's hilarious. I really like it when stuff like that happens. I don't always consider it to be canon. I usually consider the show itself to be canon, but I mean, when Glitch or Liam Vickers or anybody involved says something like that, it just, I don't know, it's like world building without being in the world, is how I would describe it.
Yes.
Well, actually, on that same note, so out of everything that we saw in Murder Drones, so we've heard, or at least this is something I've heard, we're not going to get an official season 2, at least until after, I think it's after we finish season 2 of The Amazing Digital Circus, if that even happens. Season 1 of The Amazing Digital Circus, if that, I mean, we are going to get a conclusion to that, but I don't know. It's my question to you.
You're kind of cutting out.
Sorry, I'm taking pauses and I'm just being a butt. I'm staring at. I bought a taco earlier from Taco Bell. I got a Doritos Locos taco. I haven't eaten a Taco Bell in years. Do you think they have Taco Bell in Murder Drones?
I love the Dorito shell tacos from Taco Bell.
They just hit different, man, you know? Like, do you think Sin would have killed everybody if she just realized that you can cater from Taco Bell?
Hamburger. Another headcanon I have, by the way.
Okay.
So,
it's a pretty good headcanon, I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, I'm being a jerk. Go on.
Iron Lung?
I do know Iron Lung, yeah.
There are a few, like, inconsistencies in this headcanon, but I like to headcanon that Iron Lung takes place in the world of Murder Drones, and, like, the Quiet Rapture, or Silent Rapture, whatever it was called, that was caused by Sin destroying, like, going across worlds, destroying stuff.
I mean, it makes sense. If you guys haven't seen Iron Lung, holy cow, you are missing out.
played.
It's
I haven't played it, but I've seen it
I have to
technically because gameplay.
I haven't played the game myself, but I've watched just about every playthrough I can find, and I'm excited for the movie. Is the movie still happening? Do you know? I know Markiplier was trying to make a movie or something of Iron Lung. Is that still happening?
Yeah, I have no idea. I think it is, but like no news on it, I don't think, for like quite a while.
Yeah, I wonder. I want to say the last time I heard about it was like a couple years ago, something like that. I know it takes a long time to make a movie, and Markiplier has experience making movies before. But man, I want to see an Iron Lung film so bad. That would be
Where
oh
uh no, not where. We know where. That's big. It's the thing that we're talking about now. I was going to say, where was Markiplier during the filming of the FNAF movie? Oh, I just remembered something. Can I read to you a better thing about the FNAF movie I had?
oh yeah, yeah. Go. Did you
It's not like extreme plot. What?
explain this to me? Are you having a was this like an idea you had, like a draft for a FNAF movie that you came up with?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, lay it on me. Let's see what it is.
So like Matt Pat cameoed in the FNAF movie, but he was just not bartender. He was just like a waiter
Most
at a
useless
restaurant, and he
cameo
only had
ever.
like, yeah. At least he got to say, but that's just a theory in it. But
Nah, he
like,
said it. He said it. Anyway,
oh, I remember what happened whenever in the theater for the FNAF movie. Whenever that happened, I was like the theater where I'm at. They gave us pizza slices for it.
oh, that's
I was
cool.
like leaning. I oh yeah. I also have the box still. I have a Freddy Fazbear's pizza box. It's not like a big box. It's just like a small thing, but like that had my slice in it. But I was leaning down, eating my slice of pizza, and then like I just hear a familiar voice. Wonder, wait, what's that? And then like the theater starts screaming. I look up and I just freeze with chills all over my body, seeing Matt Pat.
Man, murder. I want
A
more.
lot of the time, a lot of the time rewatching the FNAF movie, I that same thing happens. Like I forget Matt Pat's cameo is there, and then like it hits me in like sudden excitement again.
Do you
What were you saying?
remember when the Matt Pat like game theory FNAF videos came out? I remember when those videos dropped. Like, I don't know what the circumstances were. I think I was just hanging out with some friends at the time. We were all at our house and we pulled them up on the TV and we watched the very first like FNAF theory video he ever did. And it's honestly, it's just, I don't know if we're ever going to see something like that happen again. I would love if it did, especially if it was, centered around murder drones. But like, I don't know that everything just lined up perfectly when those first like game theory FNAF videos dropped. And there was the fact that it was such a weird coincidence that there was the incident at the Chuck E. Cheese and it lined up perfectly with the events of FNAF and all the theory crafting and the ideas that were tossed around. And I don't know if we're ever going to see something like that again, man. It was so, I just remember when those videos came out, it was so different. It felt like a story was unraveling, but like we were all uncovering it simultaneously. And the more we learned, like the scarier things got.
Believe it or not, I wasn't a FNAF fan from the beginning. I used to be a complete coward. Like, whenever I was younger, I still am kind of, but like that only for like real life stuff. Like if I have to go into the basement at night alone.
Okay, that's a
But like,
rational. That's very rational though. Like I don't know anybody that sees a dark basement in the middle of the night and goes, "Oh, yes." Like that's not generally you're justified is what I'm trying to say. You're valid for that.
but
And
yeah. So as for horror though, I mean, I don't like gore, but I do like blood. So for example, 2012, not 2012, 2015 Fantastic Four. I watched that. and like it had blood splatters and stuff in it, which like against a wall whenever someone was thrown. Someone's head exploded while they were in a hazmat suit. That was kind of iffy for me, but it was just that suddenly the suit is full of red and it didn't show gore. So I guess I was fine with that. But like I'm not okay with gore, but I am okay with and like blood. Another example, the final Venom movie, like people were freaking being eaten and sprayed as blood out like the back of the thing's head. So I was okay with that, but like again, no gore.
I think I'm in the same boat. When it comes to gore, it's very like situational. I am a firm believer that you can achieve something scary or intimidating or exciting in any form of media without the use of excessive, like, and then their guts sprayed everywhere, that kind of thing. Like, you don't need that.
And that actually, in a, I don't remember what video, but a video talking about FNAF a while ago, someone called out that for like being something that makes FNAF special, being horror that doesn't have to like be extremely gory, at least not show it.
And that's the cool thing about FNAF specifically. It's, if ever there was a series that probably could get away with going as over the top as possible, it would be FNAF. I mean, you're putting what, dead children in robot suits that crush them and stuff, and there's a guy that gets crushed by a spring lock suit, and it's like, if ever there was a series, it would be FNAF.
Wait a minute, you just uncovered a plot hole in FNAF.
Because oh no, not another one.
The spring lock suits are what cause like people to get crushed by the animatronics, but like not all the suits are spring locks, like the FNAF 1 animatronics. But oh yeah, but then again, if you get caught in FNAF 1, you're stuffed into it and like you don't fit, so you're crushed anyway. Never mind. Continue. Oh wait. My idea for a scene in the FNAF movie.
Yeah.
We completely forgot about that.
Yeah, tell me.
I'm going to do my normal voice as Mike in this. And I'm going to do this voice as MatPat, so that you can like tell a distinction.
Okay. Should I set the scene?
Let me find where to start.
Oh, okay. While you're doing that, quick plug real quick. So this show and this channel are completely, we don't have any sponsors whatsoever. And there's a reason for that. I want to be as independent as possible, especially when it comes to bringing content to your guys' ears and eyes. And the only way I can do that is by producing my own merchandise and giving you guys things that you can buy on your own, of your own free will. Case in point, we recently released the Jazz It Up t-shirt and a whole line of other products that show off my original design. If you're a fan of MD Season 2, this is the merchandise for you. It's available in every size you can imagine. It's available on stickers, hats, even plushies. Get it today. It is a hand-drawn design that mimics what it would be like if you were to look inside the character of Jazz from MD Season 2. Pick up that design today, and also feel free to pick up a copy of American Nexus: The Complete Series on Amazon. It's available right now. It took me 6 years to write. And if you're a fan of anime, but wish that it was a little more creative, then this is the satire for you. That's all I'm going to say about it. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported the channel in the past. And with that, let's get right back into it. So, what you were saying, this is a scene?
Yeah. I wish money was real. Anyway, the scene. I said that because like, I need a way to start making money. Anyway, MatPat waiting outside. He sees Mike coming. Like this is Mike's first night working there. So like he's pulling in and getting out of his car. So MatPat waiting outside. He sees Mike coming. MatPat speaks in a crazed voice. "You the new security guard?" "Yes, why?" I heard the last guy disappeared." Mike walks through the parking lot. MatPat follows him. "The purple man thinks he's so clever with his with his murder machines, but I know the truth. I know it, Purple Man. Mike just sarcastically goes, uh-huh. MatPat. But I have another theory. I hit my head a few weeks ago. What if it's not real? What if you aren't real? I'm in a coma and this is all a dream. You're just my imaginary friend. MatPat is cut off by himself running into the glass door as Mike walks in and closes it in his face. MatPat pushes up against the glass. Wait, was it too far-fetched? It was just a theory. Mike off screen in the background walking away yells back, "Get out of here!" And that's where it ends. But like MatPat's cameo, he should have been like a crazy conspiracy theorist that just so happens to actually know the truth.
Bravo, man. As you were saying that, I was perfectly imagining how that would look. And honestly, I feel like they missed an opportunity. They should have done something like that. They made MatPat a waiter. Like, what? He could have been phone guy. He could have been any number of things. I don't know.
Yes. The FNAF movie was missing a power out scene. You know, the power goes out and then Freddy's eyes start to glow playing the Toreador March. And the doors and Phone Guy. Where was Phone Guy? By the way, Phone Guy's actual name is Ralph. We know this now because of the week before. Possibly the only game canon book. But anyway, so Ralph / Phone Guy. I guess that was him in the beginning of the movie that like got killed like whenever it first starts. But like he should have like been recording the messages in that scene.
He should have been. You know, all of this talk about FNAF, and we were talking earlier about Thomas the Tank Engine and stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
Phone Guy better be in the second. Phone Guy better be in the second FNAF movie. At least the second FNAF movie, we're getting a scene that's actually referencing the gameplay, unlike the first one, where the frick were the doors. Anyway.
Yeah. A24 didn't
where
stop
the
him.
Were the doors?
I mean, it didn't stop him from making, you know, a lot of money. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see going into the near future more internet stuff being adapted for the big screen, because it's been known for a while now. Hollywood is bankrupt on ideas. Anyone and everyone that had an original idea has been outed and completely kicked out of the industry. And so they're doing independent stuff. I mean, I think of the girl that did the Owl House series, how the way Disney treated her, the fact that Glitch has picked her up and they're doing their own series now, which I don't know about you.
What happened?
So long story short, Disney didn't like the direction that the Owl House show was going. At least this is what they've said publicly. So they canceled the show and basically told the creator to just deal with it. And she took it pretty well, all things considered, and decided that she was going to leave. And she was picked up by Glitch because, you know, the Owl House was pretty big. I will admit I haven't seen the Owl House yet. It's still on my list.
Sure have I.
I know it's popular. I see people with profile pictures of the characters.
What is that?
I don't know. I can't see your screen.
I'm hearing sounds outside of my house that like. Oh, it's the Weed Eater. Okay. Anyway,
I was gonna make a joke about it being me, but that doesn't seem very appropriate. Anyway,
I like that kind of humor. I mean, I'm literally in your closet right now, so someone send help.
Why do I believe you?
I meant that as in you kidnapped me.
I thought you were just like...
Don't actually check your closet.
I thought you...
I'm not actually in here. Do not check.
Okay, good. Because, like, my closet's... for another day. Anyway, so what I'm saying with all of this is I feel like, especially with the overwhelming success of the Minecraft movie, we're going to start seeing more and more films dipping into what's popular on the internet. So like A24 did their FNAF movie. I think we're getting a Bendy and the Ink Machine movie. There's talks of a Poppy Playtime kind of movie coming out. I
just say,
go for it.
There's a certain thing To avoid being political, I'm not going to say what, but there's a certain thing that Hollywood is. There's a movie that's supposed to be in filming right now that I find highly offensive, and I am completely anti-Hollywood now because of it. So because of that, and because we're all indie here, we love indie.
We do.
I'm going to make this reference. About as for Hollywood, or like anything official, like Disney as well. Who cares? Said the fireman. This is good indie. That's a Thomas reference.
Oh, okay. I was like, I need to freshen up on my memes.
That that's a reference to whenever the crew of James's train was parked in a line off the main line, whenever the flying keeper crash happened. By the way, that's the only, as far as I'm aware, that's the only canonical death that happened in the TV series. Because the guard, like the James's driver and fireman, go back to their engine, James, before the crash happens, but it never mentions the guard again. The guard stayed in the brake van in the back, and then Henry crashed into the back. The guard was never mentioned again. I think he literally canonically died.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said for children's shows and how they tackle death. I'm looking at you, Animals of Farthing Woods. Let me know if you know what that is. But
I do not.
don't look it up. We'll pull it up on stream at some point. I'll give you guys a taste of that.
And that was a Mario movie Bowser reference.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of that though, going back to what I was saying, I think we're going to continue to see stuff that's popular on the internet adapted for the big screen. Now, whether or not that's a good thing is up for debate. But I want to ask you specifically, as someone who understands animation, who understands what it means to be in the indie scene, what do you think about stuff that we love that's currently in the indie space being taken and adapted by Hollywood? How do you feel about it?
As I just said, I have like a bias against Hollywood thanks to thanks to an offensive movie they are making now. But outside of like specifically Hollywood official productions, that would be amazing. I would like to see PG-13 live action murder drones.
Oh, that would be insane.
It would probably be hard to do in like a non-extremely gory way, but like I would like to see a PG-13 movie that like pushes the line of PG-13, that like official movie about like humanity and murder drones, whether it's the fall of Earth or after everything that happened, and it's like a small group of humanity that has survived everything.
It could be an anthology too. I mean, I don't know how well that would play out on the big screen. It'd probably be better as a series, but just a bunch of independent episodes that all take place in the same universe, but are like, you could have an episode about a JC Jensen executive, or you could have an episode about the guy that proposed the worker drone model in the first place, or maybe the team that discovered the Absolute Solver software and chose or were directed to not do anything about it. Like I feel like there's so much that you could do with murder drones. I'm 50-50 about the whole thing, about Hollywood potentially coming in and adapting more stuff that we enjoy. Because like on the one hand, the FNAF movie was fun. I haven't seen the Minecraft movie, so I've heard good things about it. It was definitely a cultural moment. So like on the one hand, it's fun, but on the other hand, like how many bad video game adaptation films have we seen over the years? Do you remember the Slender movie? I remember the Slender movie. Absolute
Never saw that.
trash. Not that the Slender Man character really gave you a lot to work with in the first place, but like you could have done better than what they did. It's just like I'm split. Because on the one hand, I agree with you. I don't think Hollywood can be trusted whatsoever. I think they have proven time and time again that not only are they incompetent, they're downright malicious when it comes to telling good stories. They will go out of their way. Go for it.
Unless you're fine with me saying it, I'm not going to. But do you know what offensive movie I'm referring to that Hollywood's currently filming?
I don't.
Could I say it?
I'm gonna say we'll leave it up in the air. If people want to know what you're talking about, I'm gonna send them to your channel. They can ask you about it in the comments. And while they're at it, why not subscribe to his YouTube channel while you're at it? It's CambromanYT77. So feel
Uh,
free to check it out.
uh, oh yeah, it's CambromanYT777. No spaces. That's only the current name because I'm trying to find a name that's original that comes up whenever I'm looked up. That isn't just another cameraman YT. You can still look that up and find me, but you're going to find hundreds of other people with the same name. So just my tag or whatever it's called is cameraman YT chaos and animation.
I would recommend if you want a fast and an easy way to find his channel, look up Fungeblob. Fungeblob, as far as I'm aware, there's only one Fungeblob, and there's only one guy that makes it, and it's this guy right now who we're talking to. But all of this being said, I wanted to ask you about something in Murder Drones specifically. So Murder Drones has quite an interesting cast of characters. I think that's fair to say. Out of all the characters in Murder Drones, which one is your favorite and why?
I have three favorites. I'm not sure which ones are. I'm not sure which one is my favorite out of those three, but like I can say Thad is my third favorite.
Thad's
but then
Thad
probably
rocks.
tied for my favorite would be Con and V, because they're both ironically, even though not being the main characters, they're two characters with like the most character development, especially with my theory or headcanon that Khan's obsession with doors came from the trauma of his wife telling him to build them, and then she dies in front of him, and like he has to literally kill her because he didn't listen to her about the doors.
I think that's just
And
straight up canon.
more reasons. Khan is funny, so that causes me to like him. And also, I'm voice acting Khan in your season 2, and in something else. If anyone else watching this wants me to voice Khan in their thing, feel free to get in contact with me. I would like to voice Khan as anywhere I can. But yeah, so I can do a Khan impression, and then V is my favorite because because character development, and also because Robo Waifu.
Robo waifu. That is not something I was expecting to hear today, but hey, you heard it here first. I get it. At the same time, I get it. V's a fun character, although I have to point this out every chance I get. I do think it's funny how when you look at a drone, just like a basic model of whether it's a disassembly drone or a worker drone, they're basically a stick figure with a few like different details. And
Oh yeah, yes, that is part of. It's not the only reason, but that is part of the reason Murder Drones got me so hooked so quickly, because Murder Drones came out whenever like the hype around Henry Stickmin was fading, and I really loved Henry Stickmin, and the styles remind me of each other, like they're pretty similar, so like Murder Drones felt like uh a continuation of Henry Stickmin in a way. So
I can see that.
I felt happy about that. Also, the controversial movie I was mentioning earlier, not going to say it, but I'm going to explain it quickly in the chat. So just messaged it to you now.
Okay, cool.
Not the title, but what it's about.
I mean, I haven't heard anything about this. I'm going to be honest, I don't keep up with Hollywood and entertainment and like the news anymore. I couldn't tell you the last time I watched anything like that. The things I keep up with these days are things that I'm interested in, which would be, I mean, I want to talk to you briefly about the Murder Drones comic because I have not pre-ordered it. And I know it's a bit crazy to say that.
What?
I haven't pre-ordered it because it's on, and I'm going to catch some flack for this. I 100% am going to get some flack for this one, I'm sure. I don't like that it's on Kickstarter. I don't know if anyone listening or if you in particular, I don't know if you're familiar with Kickstarter. Kickstarter's got a bit of a rocky past when it comes to
Patrick Starr is my roommate, so I don't really know anything about Kickstarter.
Okay. Well, maybe you can ask him
In
about
other
it
words, I
later.
live under a rock.
Ah, I get it. Well, to be fair, I don't live under a rock. I live somewhere, but as it stands right now, my experience with
I know where you live. Your flying lab above somewhere in Texas.
yeah, absolutely.
I know because the Google AI told me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look me up on Amazon, that is what it says. So it's definitely true, guys. It hasn't.
Why does it say that?
It's true. I mean, that's what I wrote a couple
Seriously,
years ago. So
is there context? Oh, okay.
if you go onto Amazon and you look up American Nexus, the complete series, which you all should. I mean, it is available digitally for like $8. So check it out. But it's 4 books in one. That's all I'm saying. But if you look at my author description, I typed it up a couple years ago when things were very, very different. This is before I even considered doing MD season 2. Like this is like, I want to say 2020, which, fun fact, is almost 6 years ago now. Yeah.
Despite the fact that I'm young, I miss the old days, and I feel old, and I'm scared of time.
Well, you don't have to be because we're living in the good old days right now, man. These are the good old days.
I just had an existential crisis there.
Oh. Well, eat cake. That's
It's a few days out of date. I can't.
Oh.
For real.
Then eat some pie, or maybe get a Doritos Locos taco, if you can.
I will pester my mother about that after the podcast. By the way, how much time do we have left? Because
we got
it feels like what?
We got like one more question, and then we're gonna cut it here. So
yeah,
I would say
it feels like it just started.
I know. We gotta talk more often, man. This is fun. Sorry, I'm eating a Doritos Locos taco.
I would ask you to bring me on next time, but I don't want to be greedy, and I say you should bring on someone else from the season 2 project next time. But
I don't want to spoil anything, but we are. I am talking to Yagster and Dire Duck again in the near future, possibly for the next episode. And if he's out there somewhere, I've mentioned this before. I would love to talk to Vanity Moth. Vanity Moth is someone that I've been following for quite a while. I feel like we could have an awesome conversation, especially about murder drones. But that's for another day. The last question I wanted to ask you while I've got you. So out of everything that you've experienced with MD Season 2 so far, do you have a favorite moment from the series as it stands right now? If so, what is it?
Definitely Lizzie recording V and fake Uzi's fight, and then the solver slowly appearing behind her and then just asking her to send it to her.
Okay, I'm glad you like
her. I don't know.
Whatever it may be, I'm glad you enjoyed that part because That is one of the. I usually don't laugh when I'm writing. I laughed when I wrote that.
That made me burst out laughing.
It's just, you can totally see the solver doing that, and Lizzie doing that too. I mean, she does it in season 1. She records stuff as like people are fighting and getting hurt and whatnot. Girl is a menace. People don't realize how much of a menace Lizzie is. But at the same time, I can totally see the solver being like, hey, send me that later. I want to see people stabbing their friends, stuff like that.
You said that after the podcast with Dire Duck and Yagster that you continued to like talk for like an hour. Can we do that? Because I like talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone does.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, thank you. Yeah, we can. But as far as the episode goes, that's about all I wanted to cover for this first episode. I don't want to do everything on this first one. I'd like to save some stuff for our next conversation, which I'm 100% confident will happen. But before we close out here, is there anything you would like to share with everybody? Anything you want to plug?
For a project my friends and I have been working on that's been in development heck for like 4 or 5 years. Anyway, Professor Sir, you know what it is. We've talked to you about it before, and we might be talking to you about it this weekend.
Yes.
The meet, but like not sure if it will be specifically about that. We will talk about it a bit though. But yeah, so we need voice actors, artists, possibly animators. Like my friends and I haven't decided on what style it'll be, but I feel like the most realistic style we could have that will be coming out within the next 20 years would be a style inspired by yours, like narrated but with voice acting and sound effects, and like visuals done by different artists in their different styles. But like, yeah, so voice actors, artists, music composers, sound effect artists, because I'm not sure what the term for that is called. Possibly writers, like some people to criticize the story and like so that we can point out plot holes and fix it.
I will say, all of that being said, if you guys, this is just a quick side note here, because I get this a lot, and I want to reemphasize it here, because you're doing this. You are telling a story that you're passionate about, not just with Fungeblo, but with this thing that we're loosely referencing right now. If there's anybody listening to this podcast that has a story you've always wanted to tell, please, for the love, just sit down and tell it. No one else is going to tell your story but you. You need to get out there and just put it out into the world. Don't worry about if people are going to like it or not, or if it's fully developed yet. Just sit down and write it. I know for a fact there are people listening to this episode right now that have, whether it's Murder Drones related or not, they've got something that they're passionate about, and they just keep sitting on it. Stop sitting on it. You're crushing it. Get it out there into the world and just tell it already. There are people out there that are waiting to experience what you've created. I feel that way about Fungeblo, for one. Fungeblo, I mean, it didn't change my life or anything. I don't want to give that impression, but it definitely entertained me in a way that nothing else really had for quite some time. And
That's a lie. Fungeblo is a life-changing experience.
Fair enough. Okay, I take it back. It is a life-changing experience. Like, you should definitely watch it if you haven't already. But seriously, if you guys, anybody out there, regardless of what you're passionate about, if you have a story you want to tell, please sit down and just tell it. Even if it's just you talking to a camera. There are entire channels where people sit down and read Wikipedia articles, like in their entirety, and they get millions of views. There are people, you guys have seen these, there are people that read Reddit stories, and they get, not that it's about the views or anything like that, but if you're worried about exposure, don't be. just sit down and tell your story. People are going to latch onto it. And frankly, there's probably people that need to hear whatever story it is you're going to tell. So I hope if you guys don't get anything else from this episode, take Cambroman YT777 as an example here. Just
/cameraman / cameraman YT chaos and animation, because the Cambroman thing is subject to change if I think of or someone suggests. Suggest in the comments, guys, please. I need better ideas that like are more original, and I'll come up whenever looked up. Like, yeah, my name is subject to change. Anyway, sorry for interrupting. Continue.
I propose Dr. Fungeblo, but that's just me. Let us know in the comments what you think his new username should be. But all of this being said, take me as an example. Take Cambroman as an example, subject to change. Just please tell your story, whether it's on YouTube or not. I know that a lot of you have stories you want to tell, and it's about time we heard them. But that about does it for me. I want to thank you personally. I'm going to refer to you by your current username, Cambroman YT777. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and being in this episode today. It is always fun.
Thank you, and thank you for bringing me on finally. This was really exciting. Probably like the most exposure I'm ever going to have, at least for the next several years.
I don't believe
and
that.
Should I just have subject to change be part of the name?
Oh my gosh, that should be your username. Subject to change. That's actually good. You should get on that. I'm getting off subject here.
But, my avatar is a camera head, so
just put a question mark in the middle of it. Like, subject to change. We're getting off topic here. Anyway, thank you for being on the podcast. Talking to you is always a treat. Watching your content is even sweeter. Thank you so much for everyone who's listened to this episode, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
And thank you for existing.
Right back at you. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.